Every Harley rider remembers that first ride. The power, the sound, the pride. But what most don't know is there are hidden habits silently killing performance and safety. Today, I'll share 21 secrets every rider must master. And the last one? It might save your ride when nothing else can. Number 21. The rain sock trap. Most riders never think twice about the simple cover sitting on their air cleaner. But this is where a critical detail hides in plain sight. The rain sock is not meant to live on your motorcycle full-time, yet countless new owners leave it attached. Designed only for wet weather, it restricts airflow when left on, and quietly robs the bike of the performance that defines the Harley experience. Riders who understand this small detail find that the throttle responds cleaner, the engine breathes easier, and the ride feels far more alive. It is a habit that comes from the excitement of riding home from the dealership, where the sock is often included but not fully explained. New owners see it on the bike, assume it belongs there, and never remove it. In truth, the rain sock should be carried in the saddlebag and only slipped on when the clouds break open. Keeping it off during clear skies ensures the engine pulls in fresh air, runs cooler, and maintains the deep, powerful rhythm every rider expects. Number 20. The octane mistake. Fuel seems simple, but for a Harley it is one of the easiest ways to make or break the ride. Many new owners roll up to the pump and choose whatever grade looks good, not realizing they are quietly harming their machine. These engines are built to run on high-octane fuel, specifically in the 91 to 93 range. Anything less invites engine knock, sluggish response, and the kind of wear that steals years from a bike's life. It is not about spending more at the pump. It is about honoring the design of the motor and getting the full force of torque and sound that a Harley should deliver. Older riders often know this by instinct, but younger owners sometimes treat fuel as an afterthought. The truth is, if you want the engine to breathe right, run cooler, and last longer, you must be disciplined about what you feed it. This is not just routine maintenance, it is the lifeblood of the bike and the difference between frustration and freedom. If you're finding these Harley secrets useful, give this video a like. It helps more riders discover the truth. And drop a comment below telling me which tip surprised you most so far. I read every comment, and your story might help another rider avoid the same mistake you just learned about today. Number 19. Silent versus audible security. Security is one of those details that separates a careless rider from a prepared one. Many bikes leave the dealership with only the silent version of the system. The lights will flash if someone tampers with the machine, but without sound, there is little to draw attention. In a crowded parking lot or on a quiet street at night, that silence can be the difference between a thief walking away empty-handed or rolling off with your pride and joy. The audible alarm adds an entirely different layer of protection. The moment the bike senses tampering or an attempt to move it without the fob present, the siren cuts through the air and announces trouble. It does not matter if you are in a restaurant, a motel, or simply at home with the garage door open. The sound demands attention and lets everyone nearby know something is wrong. For riders who believe in protecting their investment, this is one upgrade that truly earns its place. Number 18. Harley-Davidson kickstand starts. One of the lesser-known truths about a Harley is that the engine will fire even with the kickstand down. For many new riders, this comes as a surprise, and it can turn into a dangerous mistake if they are not ready. The motorcycle will also start while sitting in first gear, and if the clutch is not pulled in, the bike can surge forward suddenly. That quick lurch can catch an inexperienced rider off guard and lead to a stall at best, or a damaging tip-over at worst. The lesson here is discipline. No matter how many years a man has been in the saddle, the rule stays the same. Always pull the clutch before pressing the starter. That habit becomes second nature, and it saves more rides than most care to admit. The kickstand feature was designed for convenience, not carelessness. Respect the weight and power of the machine, treat the clutch as your partner in control, and you will never be surprised by your own motorcycle at the wrong moment. To make the most of these Harley secrets, we've prepared a list of reliable gear and accessories riders actually use. Check the description. Number 17. Hidden handlebar lock. Among the simple but often ignored features of a Harley is the built-in handlebar lock. Many riders spend money on heavy chains, disc locks, or even electronic add-ons, yet overlook the security that is already in place on their motorcycle. The handlebar lock is hidden in plain sight, part of the ignition system, and it takes only seconds to engage. By turning the bars fully to the left, twisting the switch, and setting the lock with the key, the rider instantly prevents the bike from being pushed or rolled away. It is not complicated technology, but it remains one of the most effective deterrents against casual theft. Older riders know that opportunity thieves look for the easy target, and an unlocked machine is exactly that. A locked front end, however, signals resistance and buys time in situations where every second matters. It is a small step in daily routine, but one that ensures the motorcycle is not just parked, but properly secured wherever the road leads. Number 16. The accessory mode hack. Many riders never realize their Harley has a feature designed for convenience that can make life on the road much easier. It is called accessory mode, and it allows the rider to power the essentials without firing up the engine. By turning the ignition switch all the way to the right with the fob present, the system enters a mode where lights, radio, and charging ports come alive while the motor stays quiet. It is a subtle detail, but it proves invaluable when parked at a rally, resting on a long trip, or preparing the bike before hitting the road. The key to using this feature well is discipline. Riders who idle the engine just to run the radio or charge a phone put unnecessary strain on their machine. Accessory mode eliminates that problem, keeping comfort and control at the rider's fingertips without wasting fuel. It is a practical secret Harley built into the machine, and once you know how to use it, you will never overlook it again on your rides. Number 15. The proper shutdown. Every rider knows how to start a Harley, but fewer riders pay attention to the best way to shut it down. The proper sequence is more than habit. It protects the electronics and ensures the system resets the way it was designed. Many owners simply twist the ignition off and walk away, but that approach skips an important safeguard. The correct order begins with the red switch on the handlebar. By flipping the kill switch first, the engine is cut cleanly, leaving the ignition ready to be turned off next. Only after that step should the key be turned to the off position. This simple two-part action may seem unnecessary, but it is a built-in layer of protection for the motorcycle. It prevents voltage spikes, keeps sensors in line, and mirrors the process expected by the designers of the machine. For the rider, it becomes second nature over time. Shutting down properly is not just about routine. It is about respecting the engineering that keeps the Harley strong for every ride. Number 14. Harley-Davidson riding without the fob. Few moments on the road bring more frustration than realizing the key fob is missing or its battery has gone dead. Many riders panic, believing they are stranded far from home, but Harley built a safeguard for exactly this situation. Every motorcycle is equipped with a personal identification number, a simple code that allows the rider to start the machine even without the fob in reach. The system is accessed through the turn signals and ignition, and once the code is entered, the bike will fire up just as if the fob were present. The secret is preparation. Riders must know their code ahead of time, and ideally, change it from the factory setting to something they can remember easily. Writing it down in a safe place or sharing it with a trusted family member ensures that it will not be forgotten in a moment of stress. This hidden feature means no rider is left helpless on the roadside. It is one of those quiet protections that only reveals its worth when everything else fails. Number 13. Customizing your PIN. Every Harley comes with a built-in security feature that most riders never bother to change. The personal identification number is programmed at the factory, and if it remains untouched, it is a weak point in the bike's defense. Customizing that code is simple, but the impact is enormous. With a unique number set to something only you know, the motorcycle becomes much harder to compromise if the fob is lost, the battery dies, or a thief tries to bypass the system. Riders who ignore this detail often find themselves stranded or forced to call for help when the default code is forgotten. By taking the time to set a personal number, you gain complete control over the bike's backup security. It is wise to write the code down in a safe place or share it with a trusted spouse so it is never lost. The process only takes a few minutes, but the peace of mind lasts as long as you own the motorcycle. It is preparation every serious rider should make. Number 12. Harley-Davidson Transport Mode. Every rider who hauls their motorcycle on a trailer or in the back of a truck needs to know about transport mode. Without it, the built-in security system reacts to every bump and shift along the way, causing the lights to flash constantly. Hours of travel like this can drain the battery and leave the motorcycle powerless at the destination. Worse yet, some riders leave the key with the bike during transport, unintentionally compromising security. Transport mode solves both problems with a quick and simple sequence that disables motion detection while keeping the motorcycle secure. The feature is activated in seconds, and once set, the motorcycle can be moved freely without setting off warnings or wasting battery power. Riders often forget about this setting until they experience the frustration of a dead battery after a long haul. Knowing how to engage transport mode is part of responsible ownership. It protects the motorcycle, preserves its power, and ensures that when the trailer doors open, the Harley is ready to roll without delay. Number 11. Harley-Davidson Cruise Control Secrets. Long rides are where a Harley truly shines, and cruise control is a tool that many riders underestimate. It is not just a matter of holding speed. It is about making the road easier on your hands, wrists, and shoulders during those endless stretches of highway. What makes it even more valuable is the flexibility built into the system. With a simple press or tap, the rider can increase or decrease speed in 1 mile/hour increments, fine-tuning the pace without ever twisting the throttle. It is a small detail, but it turns a long journey into something far more comfortable. Cruise control also has built-in safety. If the rider touches the clutch, taps the front or rear brake, or rolls the throttle forward, the system instantly disengages. This means the motorcycle is never out of the rider's control, no matter the situation. Once the road clears, a quick touch on the control brings the speed back to where it was. It is confidence, convenience, and control, all working together for the seasoned rider. Number 10. Heat Management Mode. Every rider who has spent time in heavy traffic on a hot day knows the challenge of managing engine heat. Harley addressed this with a feature many owners never fully understand: Heat Management Mode. When the motorcycle is idling for extended periods, the system can automatically shut down the rear cylinder, reducing the flow of heat that rises directly toward the rider's legs. It is a quiet solution that works in the background, and for those stuck at long red lights or crawling through rally crowds, it can make a world of difference in comfort. What makes this feature even more useful is that it can be controlled directly by the rider. By rolling the throttle forward past its normal resting point, the system can be toggled on or off. This means you are never locked into one setting. Some prefer to keep both cylinders firing at all times, while others welcome the relief that comes from cooler air near their knees. Either way, knowing how to use heat management mode ensures greater comfort and control in demanding conditions. Number 9. Harley-Davidson Built-in Trickle Charger Port. A Harley is more than a motorcycle. It is an investment in freedom, and nothing is more frustrating than watching that freedom stall because of a dead battery. Many riders do not realize that modern Harleys come equipped with a built-in connection for a trickle charger. This small but vital feature is often tucked away near the left side of the motorcycle, sometimes behind the side cover or routed discreetly for easy access. It is designed to keep the battery alive and ready during the long winter months or any period when the motorcycle sits idle. The trickle charger port eliminates the need to pull apart panels or clip directly to the battery. Instead, the rider can simply connect a maintainer, ensuring the battery stays at a healthy charge without risk of overloading. For older riders who may not ride every week, this feature is a quiet safeguard against the disappointment of a powerless machine. It is simple, practical, and built right into the motorcycle, waiting for those who know to use it. Number 8. Harley-Davidson tip-over mode. Even the most experienced rider knows that accidents happen, and sometimes a motorcycle will end up on its side. What many do not realize is that Harley designed a safeguard called tip-over mode. When the bike leans past a certain angle and settles onto the ground, the system immediately shuts down the engine. This prevents damage from oil starvation, keeps moving parts from grinding while the motorcycle is on its side, and most importantly, protects the rider and those nearby from unexpected movement. Once the bike is upright again, however, it will not simply restart. The rider must reset the system before firing it up. The process is straightforward. Turn the ignition off, bring it back on, and press both turn signals together to clear the tip-over alert. After that, the motorcycle is ready to ride again. This feature often surprises riders the first time they encounter it, but it demonstrates Harley's attention to safety. It ensures that even after an unexpected drop, control remains in the rider's hands. Number 7. Harley-Davidson hazard light quirk. Harley riders take pride in knowing every switch and detail of their machine, but the hazard lights carry a small trick that catches many off guard. When the hazards are engaged, they will continue flashing even after the ignition is switched off. This can confuse riders who try pressing the hazard button again, expecting the lights to stop, only to find that nothing happens. The system is designed this way for safety, allowing the motorcycle to remain visible on the roadside even when the key is out or the power is down. To turn them off, the ignition must first be switched back on. Only then will pressing the hazard button cancel the flashers and restore the motorcycle to its normal state. For riders who travel long distances or find themselves parked on a shoulder, this quirk is important to understand. It keeps the bike visible when needed, but it also demands attention so the battery does not drain unnecessarily. Mastering this small feature keeps both rider and motorcycle secure. Number 6. Harley-Davidson security light behavior. Every Harley carries a small red light on the dash that many riders overlook until it signals a problem. Known as the security indicator, this light is far more than decoration. When the motorcycle is parked and locked, the light flashes at regular intervals to warn would-be thieves that the system is armed. It is a quiet but effective reminder that the bike is protected, even when the rider is not nearby. For many, this flashing light becomes so familiar that they stop paying attention, but its behavior is important to understand. If the light glows solid instead of flashing, it signals a fault in the system or an issue that demands the rider's attention. Ignoring that sign can lead to unexpected shutdowns, a disabled starter, or a stranded ride. Older riders know that prevention is worth more than repair, and the security light is one of the simplest tools available. Reading it correctly means peace of mind, both for the motorcycle itself and for the man who depends on it. Number 5. Harley-Davidson steering lock reminder. Among the simplest and most overlooked security features on a Harley is the steering lock. Many riders spend money on aftermarket chains and heavy-duty locks, forgetting that their motorcycle already carries a built-in safeguard. The steering lock prevents the front wheel from being turned, making it nearly impossible for anyone to roll the bike away without drawing attention. It is not meant to stop a professional thief, but it does serve as a powerful deterrent against opportunists who look for an easy target. Engaging the steering lock takes only a moment. With the handlebars turned fully to the left, the ignition switch is rotated into the lock position, and the key secures it in place. Once set, the bike cannot be rolled forward or steered straight without unlocking it. For older riders who value routine and caution, this small action provides a level of confidence that goes beyond parking. Using the steering lock consistently means the motorcycle is not only parked, but firmly protected whenever the rider steps away. Number 4. Harley-Davidson brake. Override for cruise. Cruise control is a blessing for long rides, but Harley designed it with safety at the center. Many riders think of it as a simple on and off feature, but there is more to it. The system is built with multiple override points, giving the rider full command at any moment. A gentle pull on the clutch lever, a tap of the front brake, or a press of the rear brake instantly cancels cruise control. Even rolling the throttle forward beyond its resting point will disengage it. Each of these options ensures the rider can break free from cruise without hesitation. This design means the motorcycle is never locked into a speed that the rider cannot control. On the open highway, it is comfort. In sudden traffic, it is confidence. Harley engineered the system so that no matter how quickly conditions change, the rider always has the final word. For those who log serious miles, understanding every way to override cruise control is just as important as setting it in the first place. Number 3. Harley-Davidson low-speed balance. Controlling a heavy motorcycle at slow speeds is a skill that separates seasoned riders from beginners. Parking lots, tight corners, and crowded streets are where balance matters most, and Harley owners know just how much weight they are managing. What many do not realize is that there is a proven technique to make low-speed handling easier and safer. By keeping a steady throttle while lightly dragging the rear brake, the rider creates stability that holds the bike upright and smooth. This balance of power and resistance steadies the motorcycle, giving the rider more control without the constant wobble or fear of tipping. The method may sound simple, but mastering it changes the way a rider approaches everyday maneuvers. Instead of dreading U-turns or narrow lanes, the rider moves with confidence, letting the motorcycle glide as if it were far lighter than it is. For those who ride fully loaded or carry passengers, the difference is even greater. Low-speed balance is not just technique. It is a form of respect for the machine and the road itself. Number 2. Harley-Davidson emergency flash override. Hazard lights are a critical part of safety when a motorcycle is stopped on the roadside, but many Harley riders are unaware of how their system truly works. When the four-way flashers are activated, they are designed to remain on even after the ignition is turned off. This feature ensures that the motorcycle stays visible to passing traffic in an emergency, but it can confuse riders who believe the button alone will cancel the flashers once the bike is shut down. The reality is that the ignition must be turned back on before the hazard button will respond. Only then can the system be disengaged, restoring the motorcycle to its normal state. This design is intentional, giving the rider control to keep the bike visible during breakdowns or roadside stops while still maintaining battery discipline once the lights are no longer needed. It is a small detail, but one that can prevent frustration and confusion. Understanding the emergency flash override means always being prepared for the unexpected moments on the road. If you've stayed with me this far, you're clearly serious about mastering your Harley. So hit that subscribe button right now. This channel is built for riders like you, men who want freedom, power, and knowledge on the open road. Number 1. Harley-Davidson, the owner's manual lifeline. For many riders, the owner's manual is an afterthought, left in a drawer or tucked into a saddlebag, rarely opened. Yet this small book is the lifeline that connects the rider to every system built into the motorcycle. Inside, it carries the instructions for overrides, the guidance for resetting security codes, and the procedures that turn a crisis into a manageable moment. When the key fob fails, when a warning light flashes unexpectedly, or when a feature refuses to behave, the manual often holds the exact answer needed to get moving again. The wisdom of seasoned riders has always been to respect the tools that keep you on the road, and the manual is one of the most valuable of them all. While experience teaches the feel of the clutch, the sound of the motor, and the weight of the machine, the manual provides clarity when memory or instinct falls short. For the older rider who values preparation, it stands as a constant reminder that knowledge is as vital as steel and chrome. Those were 21 secrets every Harley rider should know before it is too late. Now it is your turn. Drop a comment below and tell me what you ride and where you are from. I want to hear your story. If you found value in these tips, hit that like button and share this video with a brother who rides. And do not forget to subscribe, because every week we dig deeper into the hacks, habits, and hidden truths that keep your Harley strong and your rides unforgettable. Until next time, ride safe, ride proud, and keep gliding.